honey. So welcome everyone, thank you for joining me. I know it's been a few weeks. Sorry I had to cancel the last couple of weeks. I was going to do some Facebook lives and things are very busy and intense over here, so I wasn't able to do that. But I'm so pleased to be able to join you guys tonight. And tonight we're going to look ahead at the Taurus Full Moon. So we have the Taurus Full Moon is going to occur next Friday for us, which is November the 19th. Most places around the world it will fall on November the 19th. Whether that ends up being a Friday where you are, or if you're somewhere else in the world, you know, it could be on another day. But most places it's going to be on the 19th. And this will also be, we have a partial lunar eclipse as well that's going to occur on the same night as our Taurus full moon. Now here in Australia it's going to be about 7:57 p.m. Melbourne, Sydney time. If you are somewhere like London, then it'll be about 8:57 a.m. in the morning. Somewhere like New York it's going to be about 3:57 a.m. in the morning. And if you want to look up the time and date that it is specifically where you are in the world, then timeanddate.com is the website that I recommend checking out, because that's really good. You can actually put in where you are and it will let you know exactly what time and what date the full moon will be. It also will give you information about the eclipse that's going to occur on that night too. So we're really lucky to have, it's a partial lunar eclipse, but I always love eclipses. That always heightens the energy again, so it'll bring another layer of intensity to the energy again for us. And it's really nice to know here in Australia we are going to be able to see, no matter where in Australia you are, you'll be able to see that eclipse. It will be visible. Also in North and South America it will be visible, and in parts of Europe and Asia it will be visible. So once again, check out timeanddate.com. If you want to see whether it's visible where you are. And here in Australia it's going to start about 5:02 p.m. We'll start, that eclipse will begin, but it will be at its peak about 8:02 p.m. in the evening here in Australia. So that's kind of exciting. It'll be at a good time. We don't have to get up at like 2 in the morning if you want to see that eclipse occurring. It's actually at a pretty decent time that we can even maybe get the kids out to see and have a look. Hopefully we'll just have some nice weather for it. That would be extra good. As always with our full moons, this is it's a heightened time to do any kind of work, any kind of manifesting, any kind of healing work, clearing work, anything that we want to grow or anything that we want to release. It's all going to be really good to do at this full moon, as at any full moon. You know, it kind of just really will amplify any kind of work that we want to focus on. The Taurus in particular just brings certain key areas that are going to be extra good to kind of hone in on if you want to utilize that particular energy. Now for me, I always call the Taurus full moon is my money moon. It is a really great moon if you want to do any kind of money manifesting, or any kind of physical manifesting that you want to kind of focus on. So when I say physical manifesting, it's things that you really want to bring into physicality. So you know, this Taurus energy is great for focusing on real estate. So that means, you know, anything to do with your home, or buying a new home, or selling a home, or looking for a rental, anything connected to real estate, it's going to be really helpful with. Anything with that material acquisition. So if there are things that you're wanting to, you know, manifest and bring into your life, perhaps a new car, bring in a holiday, anything on that physical level that you want to manifest, this can be a really great time to do that. Bringing in stability, enhancing our responsibility, or being responsive, you know, to things in our world. Putting energy into being able to save, so actually put money in the bank and have savings, and getting into those good routines. It's a great time to focus on your real long-term goals and long-term projects and things that, you know, you can see being in your life for a long time, or that you plan to have in your life for a long time. and prosperity and money, and even things like bringing in peace and harmony and having that as like this stable kind of energy in your life, then the Taurus full moon is going to be a really great time to do any of that kind of work. So I have 2 specific money spells. That's on Mystical Dragon's online book of shadows. So if you're looking to do specific money spells, I have 2 that are there, free to access our online book of shadows at mysticaldragon.com.au. You'll see there's a tab there that's Book of Shadows, and I've got something like 40 spells there now. For anyone that's gotten the November full moon box, that Mystical Dragon, we've been doing our monthly boxes. That one's focusing on one of my money spells, my favorite one, my money frog spell. And so that gives you everything that you need for your money frog spell, and it gives you all the instructions. And I will have a video up as well that kind of guides you through for anyone that just wants that bit of extra guidance into how to set up and do your spell. It should be up in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. I'll put it on our YouTube channel, and I'll probably pop it on our Facebook page as well. So if you're looking for that, that will be there as well. So, you know, have a look for those as well. If you struggle with money and keeping money and being able to save money, you know, this is a really good time to even do work on clearing any blocks that might be there that stop you from having money or keeping money or creating savings. You know, if money just seems to go through your fingers, then this can be a really good time to work on that. So it doesn't have to all be about doing spells and ritual and having to be magically minded. You can actually do work on that. And if that's something you want to work on, I would recommend something like You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. It's got lots of different sections in it where you can work on various aspects of your life. But chapter 13 works on prosperity and looks at like beliefs that we have, because most of our beliefs we get when we're quite young, when we're growing up, and we adopt them. And even if they're not good for us, you know, we need to do some work on them. So she's got a really great chapter in here where you can start to work through some of those beliefs and try and clear anything that might be holding you back on that kind of money level. So this can be a good time to start working on that. And I mean, you don't even have to wait till next Friday to the full moon to do that. You can already start to read and do some work with that. And you might want to perhaps charge up something like a black candle. I love to use black candles for doing clearing work, and focus on doing a little ritual or spell around helping to clear those rather than bringing the money in. Because of course, if we clear any of those blockages, like maybe, you know, you've picked up a money is evil, or that I have to work really hard to be able to earn money, or that you don't deserve to have money, you don't deserve to have much, then these are all things that are going to hold that money back. So if you can clear those, you'll see that it'll automatically start to bring money in for you as well. So that can be a really powerful thing to do as well. We can do things like charge up some crystals that we're going to carry with us and work with to assist with our money flow and helping to bring money in, or helping to do any kind of manifesting that we're working on. So some of my favorites for this sort of work is a crystal called citrine, which I'm sure lots of you know of. That's part of the quartz family. That's a really good one. It's actually a stone of abundance. So some people think it's a money if that's what you're looking for, or do ask for it to, you know, perhaps assist with that money flow or helping to bring anything else that you're trying to manifest in abundance. Pyrite is another really good one. Sorry, I've only got a small piece of it. This is a little gold stone. It is sometimes called fool's gold because it looks like, you know, real gold essentially. And that's another really good one to ask to help with your money flow and doing any kind of manifesting and expanding on those levels. Clear quartz is always a great all-rounder that you're going to find helpful. And of course, green stones as well, especially things like jade or green aventurine, are going to be really good stones to help you with that money flow and manifesting as well. So, you know, between two hands, just charge it up, affirm with it what it is that you're wanting, you know, bringing in that beautiful money flow, or however it is, you know, whatever statement it is that you want to work with. ask it to assist you. When I charge them up, I always seal it by breathing on my crystal and holding it in both hands and really charging it with my energy. And then you can carry it on you, put it under your pillow, you know, work with it in whatever way you're feeling drawn or guided to work with it. But that's can be really quite a powerful way to help draw more in at this time. This would also be a time where you could refresh or create an altar that's connected to money and abundance as well in your home. So for me, that tends to be in a more family orientated space, because I want that money flow to be for my whole family. But you could certainly set it up in your bedroom or anywhere that was appropriate to you. I would focus on colors like green or gold, is very much connected to money and manifesting. But if you're connected to Feng Shui, you might find that red works as well. That's a color they connect in with the money side of things. Goddess Lakshmi is a great energy to be able to work with when it comes to money flow and manifesting. Ganesha, who I should have grabbed a card of him, he's really great for clearing obstacles as well. So if that's a focus where you're trying to clear and release some of those blockages, he would be good to work with to help you clear some of those blockages to make way so that that money flow could come in as well. And then place items that connect for you, that makes sense to you about money flow or manifesting. So, you know, you might have like a money tree that you want to put there that's literally got like little Feng Shui coins or foreign coins on it. You might want to have literal coins and money on it. Basil and mint are both connected to money and abundance, so perhaps having some sprigs of that, or even a little potted plant, they grow quite nicely inside. Bees and frogs are the animals that I tend to connect with money flow. So if you had a representation of your frog or a bee, or you know, any kind of combination of those. And I love to use like perhaps affirmations that connect with abundance and, you know, that flow of energy. Then you could add those on your money altar as well. And you could definitely have any items or images or pictures, statues that make sense to you for things that you're wanting the money to be able to, you know, purchase, that you're trying to manifest. That would make sense to put on that altar as well. So you can see it might be something you more want to have as a bit of a personal altar that's not necessarily out for everybody to see. It just depends. But certainly, and if you want, you know, have space to be able to burn some candles on there too, is always nice. But do keep that altar nice and refreshed, and keep it, you know, try and dust it and do things like that. Keep it nice and clean and refreshed, because that helps with that energy and that movement of energy as well. So you might want to create one of those, or if you've already got one, perhaps refresh it in the lead up to this full moon as well. So that can be a really great thing to do at this time. Creating a vision board too. I've talked about vision boards before, but I find them a really great tool, and this would be a time to maybe look at doing one for some of your long-term goals, because the Taurus full moon is such a manifesting full moon, but also specifically really good with that long-term stuff where we want that continued money flow or that continued work or whatever it happens to be. Then this could be a really great time to do a vision board. And you know, it doesn't have to be any particular size, but get some cardboard, put some images and words and things that just make sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. And you can do various vision boards where they focus in on different parts of your life, or you could just focus it in on perhaps those long-term goals and that long-term vision that you have for yourself. You know, where do you want to be living? What is it that you want to be doing? Are there holidays that you want to have? Are there places you want to visit? You know, what is it that you want, that you can see? And you know, I always say shoot for the moon, and that way it doesn't matter if you don't quite hit the moon, you still tend to land up among the stars. I think that's, you know, a beautiful sentiment and a beautiful focus to have. So definitely, you know, this is a great time to do a vision board as well, and you could incorporate that and add that in around your manifesting or money altar too. You know, that's the perfect thing to have around that space as well, because it's all connected. good time too to be, empower yourself. So take some time to read some things that connect. Perhaps read some books that feel like they're really empowering, or that work on the law of attraction and being able to create and manifest for yourself. I really recommend Esther and Jerry Hicks. I love their work. They have a YouTube, I think there's multiple YouTube channels that share some of their work, the channelings that they have. This is one of their books which I found really great, but they've got lots of like audio CDs, they've got a whole bunch of books. Their work's really great. So, start kind of getting yourself in that mode where you feel like you're connected to that that power of abundance, that power of that beautiful universal flow, and you feel empowered that you can do this, that you can create and manifest these things that you are thinking you would like, but maybe are holding yourself back on some level. It'll really help to raise your vibration and get you in that mode to really be more powerful in the manifesting that you are doing. The more we can do things that raise our vibration, singing and dancing and that kind of body movement and all those beautiful things, reading things that inspire us, this all raises our vibration, and we're more able to do the manifesting that we want to do when we have that high vibration. It'll be way more effective, and you might even surprise yourself, in that beautiful high vibration. And so, you can do any kind of spell work on those manifesting levels, as in if there's job manifesting, you want to do a spell to create a new job because you're not happy in your current job, or you need a new job. So, this would be an appropriate time to do that. Or perhaps you want to put energy into keeping the job you have because you love it and you're not sure if it's something that's, really stable for you. Or like I mentioned before about your home, whether you want to start manifesting a new home. All of those things are really, this is a potent time to be doing any of that type of manifesting. So if it's something you want to bring in and pull into your life and really bring in on a physical level, the Taurus Full Moon is so good for any of that kind of manifesting. Try and hone in on a few areas rather than putting out to the universe, a giant list of things. If you're going to do something like a spell, try and hone in on maybe one or two things that at the moment, this is my priority, this is what I really want to put energy into. But like your vision board and things like that, you're obviously going to be putting energy into lots of different things, but spell work in particular, I always recommend one or two things to focus on, and that way you'll be much more potent in what you're sending out to universe. It won't be as scattered, and you tend to see better results when you work that way. So that is what I would recommend there. Just going to the eclipse side of our Taurus full moon, eclipse actually holds an energy all of its own on a magical level. So eclipses, yes, they bring a heightened energy to the full moon, but they also tend to bring an energy of clearing. So they'll tend to be really potent as well for healing and clearing, so particularly clearing stuff away from the past. So when I mentioned before about, maybe you want to look at some of those beliefs and blockages that are stopping you from manifesting perhaps money, or doing manifesting in general. If it's blocking money, it is often blocking other areas of manifesting for you. Then this would be quite a potent time to do that because of that eclipse energy, and the eclipse will really be a powerful time for healing and clearing. So do consider that. It doesn't have to be, if you're feeling like, that's not something I need to focus on at the moment, that's fine. But if you're finding that there's already like key areas that are coming up, or universe is already giving you some of those signs and symbols, it's like, I keep getting this little theme repeatedly coming up around me that's connected to something that maybe you're kind of aware of that you need to do some clearing and healing work on, then that might be universe trying to, direct you to start looking at some of those areas and perhaps do some healing work around those particular themes. So if that's happening for you, there's a couple of suggestions. I do have a couple of spells on Mystical Dragon's Book of Shadows that I would like to direct you to. One is there's a healing spell with Archangel Raphael, so that's really good for physical healing. So if you're like, I need to do some work, there's physical stuff that's going on that I really need to really address and stop perhaps trying to ignore or just, keep on keeping on. without really doing much work on, then the Archangel Raphael healing I would recommend. And you can actually use that one as well to send healing for someone else if that's something you're feeling called to. There's also a relationship cord cutting spell that's on there as well, which you might find really helpful, as you know, like I said, clearing stuff from the past. There might be people connections that you I need to just clear some negative energy that is left behind by certain people, and that'll help to do that for you. And then there's also a spell for clearing fear particularly, and also for clearing blockages. So if you're feeling called to do any of that sort of work, there are some really specific spells on our Book of Shadows online on Mystical Dragons website, mysticaldragon.com.au. So have a look at those and maybe work with some of those. I have all the instructions and the ingredients and everything listed there, so that you can follow it along if you need to do that. So the eclipse in particular will really amplify that for you to do that type of work. So I suppose that the two main aspects, just to recap, would be the manifesting side. What is it that you want to bring into your life, and putting energy into any of those, and also the healing and clearing side, particularly healing and clearing is coming up with that eclipse energy.